Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Heather Miller, and I'm an adult program librarian here at the La Crosse Public Library. And we're so glad you could join us today for Monday Mornings at Maine online edition. We know how essential it is for our well-being as we age to exercise and stay healthy, especially during the coronavirus pandemic. And today we have a special guest with us from Gundersen Health System, Shayna Schertz, who is going to speak to us about how to stay healthy as we age. So welcome, Shayna. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk about this important topic, always, especially right now during the pandemic.
Great. Well, feel free to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your position at Gundersen.
So my name is Shayna Schertz. I'm a wellness education specialist in the Office of Population Health at Gundersen Health System. I've been at Gundersen for about 7 years. Prior to Gundersen, I was a health teacher, so I went to school to be a health teacher and taught one semester and said, oh, no, not for me. So I got out of that career path and came onto Gundersen, and I enjoy still teaching about health and wellness, but just to different populations and outside of a school setting. So today, as was stated, we will just kind of go through my PowerPoint, and I think we'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please write them down and I will answer them to the best of my ability after we're finished here. All right. So, and can you all see my screen? I'm hoping. This is one of my favorite quotes, and not necessarily, I don't like to use the word running, but I like to say, you don't stop moving because you get old. You get old because you stop moving. And really, I think that is so true. As people age and get older, they think, wow, I'm 70, I'm 80, I can't do that anymore. I shouldn't do that anymore. But really, if we keep doing what we're able to and really listening to our bodies, I think we can age so much more gracefully and keep moving throughout our lives. Well, it's kind of when you stop using it, you lose it. And I really do think that it is so important to keep moving as we age. And we'll go through not just movement, but some other techniques to try to keep us healthy as we get older today. So some of my secrets, I call them, to healthy aging would be eating nutritiously, moving more, staying connected, stress less, sleeping well, and staying hydrated. And we'll go through each of those today. So eating nutritiously, we've all heard it time and time again. Eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, limit sugar and things like that. But when you think about eating healthy, one, there are so many fad diets right now that those aren't sustainable. To really be able to have a sustainable, healthy eating plan in place, set small, attainable goals. So maybe that is, I'm going to increase my vegetable consumption. So I'm going to add 1 vegetable to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you've just increased your vegetable consumption by 3 for that day. We want to aim for about 3 to 5 fruits or vegetables a day. So if you add 1 to breakfast, it could be an omelet, and add a couple, some really nice, bright, vibrant vegetables to that, or scrambled eggs, or it can be a smoothie and you put spinach, which spinach you cannot taste at all inside smoothies. You can sneak them in, and then breakfast is probably the most difficult to get that in. And then lunch and dinner, you can make one of those meals a nice salad with many colors, different nutrients, and really just make it full of vegetables. Snacks, it's an easy way to get in a vegetable or a fruit. It's not an easier snack you can prepare than grabbing an apple or a banana. And then dinner, making sure that you have at least 1 vegetable at dinner would be ideal, or having maybe a salad before you have your dinner meal. avoid overly processed foods. And I put overly in there because really almost everything is processed except for those whole fruits and vegetables. Even you look at cheese. Cheese, yes, it's, even if you get like just a plain cheese, it's still been processed, right? Or milk in a sense has been processed. But the overly processed foods that I'm speaking of would be those that come in a box or a package. And not saying that you can't have those, but just saying to really try to limit those and choose those wholesome, those fruits and vegetables primarily for your diet. So shopping, you've probably heard it, shopping around the parameter of the grocery store rather than inside the aisles as much as you can. Nuts and seeds make great snacks. They are not processed for the most part, unless you get the ones that are coated in flavorings. And just like I said, all those good, vibrant fruits and vegetables. And you can get creative too with beans, into sneaking beans for protein into your meal, or meat or poultry, whatever you choose what your diet is. Cutting out sugary drinks is really important as well. To do this, if you have many sugary drinks a day, it's not always easy, but you can slowly reduce the amount you drink. Not saying that you have to quit cold turkey, but try to replace some of that with water. Or if you need to or want another low calorie flavored drink. I know they have a lot of those powders that you can put inside water to make them more flavorful. Or try grabbing, cucumbers are great inside water, some sort of an infused water, raspberries, cucumbers. A lot of people put mint or basil inside water just to give it a little pop of flavor without that sugar. Lemon is great in water as well. And then lastly, and we've probably been doing this a lot more than we had planned in the last 6 months, but making meals at home. So one thing that makes this easier is planning meals ahead of time. Maybe you decide, okay, this week we're going to have X, Y, and Z. And then that gives you an opportunity too to maybe prepare at the beginning of the week and create different meals with those foods. So one thing I like to do, I like to roast a whole bunch of vegetables. So I'll do squash right now, or sweet potato. You can cook your protein. So whatever type of meat or tofu that you would like to prepare, you can bake that all at the beginning of the week. I like to do a roasted onion, beans. So prepare that all at the beginning of the week. And then throughout the week, I like to make different meals with that, so I don't get tired of the same meal. So one dinner might be a nice salad with it all mixed together. Another meal might be, maybe I throw a lot of those vegetables with some eggs and have a more breakfast type dinner. Another one might be, I might throw everything inside of a wrap and have a wrap, or I'll make a little pasta at the beginning of the week and kind of have a pasta stir fry or some sort of a stir fry. So you can really get creative and add different sauces to those foods that you make ahead of time. And if you really are missing your favorite food that you have out to dinner, you can always reinvent your favorite food at home. I know a couple of weekends ago, I was at my parents' house and I made Big Mac bowls. So we had the lettuce, we had shredded lettuce, and they had burger, and I made kind of a mac sauce, and we could throw whatever vegetables and some pickles in there, tomatoes, and they were really good. So you really can reinvent your favorite fast food or just favorite restaurant food at home. And then like I had already stated, meal prepping is such a good time saver. If you buy those vegetables, those fruits at the grocery store, right when you get home, wash those up, cut them up, and store them in the refrigerator, because that will make it so much easier to grab for a snack or a meal throughout the week. I always like to educate on nutrient-dense foods are so much more important than calorie content. For example, if you are trying to decide between an apple or a bag of chips, they might have about the same calorie content. However, you're going to get so many more nutrients and fiber and good for you foods from that apple than you are going to from the bag of potato chips. And that apple is probably going to satisfy your hunger a little bit better than those chips. Those chips are processed. The apple's probably easier and more satisfying, keeping you fuller until your next meal or snack. A lot of people are still in the mindset of avocado or olive oil or nuts and seeds. They're fattening, they're high in calories. They are the good for you calories, much, much better for you. And it's okay. Fat is not scary. Fat is crucial to our everyday living. We need fat on our bodies, and that type of good fat really is great for our body. So if we're taking a look at this slide, this shows low nutrients versus high nutrients. So in one picture, they're both the same number of calories, but in one picture you have a half of a burger with a few fries, some sort of, it looks like a fettuccine alfredo pasta, a small piece of dessert, a few potato chips, and a half of a cinnamon roll, and maybe a glass of either juice or soda. That is all about, for this picture, they say 1,575 calories. If you look to the other side, same number of calories, but you have all those nutritious foods. So you can have a lot more food for the same amount of calories. So you're not hungry throughout your day. You probably have a lot more energy throughout your day to get through your day. We have oatmeal, cantaloupe, looks like a stir fry, a nice size salad, a really good vegetable tray with some dips, soup, coleslaw, a sandwich made on whole grain bread chocked full of, I think, lettuce. There might be some grapes in there. So that picture just goes to show how much more food you can actually have if you choose those wholesome foods. And two, not to mention, when you choose whole foods, you rarely really have to measure anything or worry about the calories because you're going to get full. You're not going to be worried about eating too many carrots or too many bananas because you're going to get full, and you're probably not going to have multiple of those, where it's easy to grab a bag of potato chips and eat too many potato chips or eating the entire bag. We'll go into physical activity next. So I always like to say, just move more and sit less. This doesn't have to be huge movements. You can start with something really small and something you enjoy to do, and then gradually increase that movement over time. So you can start with chair yoga, water aerobics, walking, just beware of risk for fall, recumbent bike. Some health benefits of physical activity. Physical activity is going to lower your blood pressure, or can improve your mood, relieves depression and anxiety. I don't know about you, but this summer has been such a great time to get out, get some fresh air with everything going on, helping to improve my mood, relieve anxiety, increases well-being. It can be a key component to weight loss and controlling your weight. Reduce the risk of falling and fracturing. So it strengthens our bones and our muscles. So if we do have a fall, we can probably recover a lot faster if we are in good physical shape than if we're not. And we probably will reduce our risk of falling and actually hurting ourselves. Lowers the chance of certain cancers. And then it reduces risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. Amongst other things, there are so many endless benefits of physical activity. According to the CDC, people who are physically active for about 150 minutes a week have a 33% lower risk of all-cause mortality than those who are not, or who are physically inactive. You don't have to do high amounts of activity or vigorous intensity. Don't think about getting out and really exhausting yourself to reduce your risk of premature death, you just have to move, like I said, move more and sit less. It can be moderate. So a nice moderate walk. It can be organizing a closet in your reaching and you're lifting safely, cleaning, gardening, and we'll get to some of these examples soon. So how much activity? According to the CDC, again, adults 65 years old and older who are in good health require about 150 minutes a week. So that would be of cardiovascular or movement, moderate intensity aerobic activity. That breaks down to about 30 minutes, 5 days a week, but you can break it down over the entire week however you want. So if you want to do every day and just have it be, I think it's 20 minutes a day, then do that. Or maybe you aren't able to be active every single day. You just have 3 days a week you want to be active, and you exercise for a little bit longer on those days. So just any type of moderate intensity aerobic activity, 150 minutes a week is all that is needed, as well as muscle strengthening activities. So activities that make your muscles work harder than usual. So we'll get into some examples of what would be included in strengthening activities in a little bit, but they're just saying at least 2 days a week of full body strengthening exercises. So how do you sneak movement into your day? Sit back and just think for a little bit. How do I get my movement in? Some ways to really take short movement breaks. Start your day with a walk. Before you even get into what you're doing for that day, just wake up and say, if it's light out, I'm gonna go for a quick walk. It's a good way to get that fresh air. And especially right now, it's not too warm. It might be even a little too cold. You can put on a couple extra layers, and it doesn't have to be a long walk. It can be a 10-minute walk. It can be 5 minutes, just something to get out for some fresh air to start your day off. You could take a walk before or after lunch to sneak that in. Not one trip takes all. So if you get back from the store and you need to carry bags in, I know it's easy just to say, oh, I don't want to have to take multiple trips. I'm just going to get everything all at once. Really, making those multiple trips is really important. One, for safety, because you're not bogging yourself down trying to carry everything all at once. And then you're getting that up and down. Maybe you're taking up and down stairs, going back to your car, bringing it back in a few times rather than just one time. Tag along. So if you are on a road trip and somebody needs to run into a store, I always say, I don't need anything, but I'm going to go with you, because then you're getting in a few more steps just walking around the store. When they're getting their items, you could just take a couple of laps, or outside if you stop somewhere and you're on a road trip, just walk the parking lot. There are always ways to sneak that activity in. Saying no to elevators. We're probably not out in public as much as we used to be, but I know taking the stairs is such an incredible thing that we can sneak into our days. Stretching. So at night, if you have your favorite show on TV, during those commercial breaks, just do a few stretches. And I'll go over later in this presentation where you can find some really good stretches that can all be done from a seated position. If you do need to sit, maybe you are at a conference, or you're somewhere where you're sitting for a long period of time, or even just sitting in the living room watching TV. If you find yourself sitting for a long time, try to get up every half an hour and just move for a couple of minutes. Maybe you do one chore an hour to get yourself up and moving so that you're not sitting all day. Another thing that you can do is practice balancing activities, such as walking sideways, balancing on one foot while holding on or near a counter while you wait. Maybe you enjoy your coffee in the morning, but that coffee takes 4 minutes to brew. that's okay. You have those 4 precious minutes right there that you're probably not doing too much. You're just waiting for that coffee, right? Stand at the counter, do some heel raises where you're going up on your toes, take a couple steps sideways, balance on one foot. You can really sneak activity in a short amount of time throughout your day. If you really think about what are all the moments that I'm just waiting for something that I could be sneaking in some activity. So some examples of resistance training, there are free weights that you can use. So whether that's dumbbells, kettlebells, or barbells, weight machines, if you are going to a gym right now, and some people are and some people are not, they have some adjustable weight machines that you just have to change the weight setting, and it has an instruction sheet. You can use those free weight machines or weight machines. Medicine balls are great. They're just weighted balls that you can use a lot of different ways. Resistance bands, these are probably easy to incorporate at home because 1, they don't take up a lot of room, and 2, you can do a lot of these exercises seated or standing, and they provide resistance when stretched and provide continuous resistance throughout the movement. They're also really good for traveling. You can pack them in luggage or in a suitcase, and really great to bring with you. You can use them if you're in a car for a long period of time. You can even do some exercises while sitting in the car. So resistance bands are a really great option. And not to forget, your own body weight can be used and really effectively for squats or push-ups, lunges. So you don't need to hold on to weight. Your body weight can really be a good means for resistance training. Some benefits of resistance training: it'll improve muscle strength and tone. Like I said, to protect you from any injury moving forward. Increases muscle to fat ratio. So as you gain muscle, your body actually burns more calories when at rest. Improve mobility and balance. Improves posture. Decreases risk of injury. Increases bone density. Helps you sleep better at night, and it can really increase your self-esteem. So why is resistance training so important, especially as we get older? We're not probably looking to have all the abs of steel and anything what we maybe have wanted when we were younger. But as we age, we lose 5% per decade after 30. So after age 30, we are rapidly really losing muscle mass. So we want to be able to hold on to as much muscle mass as we can. For those of you who have been injured or maybe have chronic pain and are spending a lot of time in bed, being bedridden can really lead to loss of muscle mass. So 12% loss of muscle mass per week can be lost if you are bedridden, and 50% loss of muscle mass after 3 to 5 weeks of bed rest. So after bouts of not being able to move, that is a really important time to then get back that muscle strength. And if you go into it with an increased muscle mass, the better off you will come out on the other end as you have to stay in bed and you're losing that amount of muscle mass per week. I always push, start with something that you enjoy or do something that you enjoy. If you really do not enjoy going to a gym, that's okay. Exercise can be done anywhere. If you don't enjoy, let's say, yoga, you've done it before, you don't enjoy it, that's okay. You don't have to do something you don't enjoy because you're not going to stick with it. Find something that you enjoy and start with small steps. So like I said, gradually increasing your movement over time. If you enjoy what you're doing, you're more likely to make it a habit and continue to be active. And maybe you rotate. Maybe you enjoy walking and you also enjoy gardening or shoveling in the winter. You enjoy bike riding. Maybe one day you wake up and you say, what does my body want and crave? And what do I feel like doing today? And just put a time limit. Okay, every day I'm going to do at least 30 minutes of something that I enjoy. And not telling yourself what you have to do, but just letting your body kind of guide you to what you want and what it's ready for that day. I don't like to call physical activity, I don't even like to call it physical activity, to be honest, or exercise. I like to say movement, as long as we're moving and we're doing those movements throughout our day, whether that is with resistance bands or free weights or walking, gardening, chair yoga, water aerobics are really good. And anything that you really enjoy. It can be done alone or safely with someone you live with, ideally for right now, or even if you go with somebody that you're not close with, make sure that you're, of course, putting all those safety protocols in use and wearing a mask and whatnot. Another secret to staying young would be staying connected. Right now is really, really important time to stay connected, because we're not having that social interaction face-to-face much anymore. So there are great options that people have come up with. We have virtual book clubs, FaceTiming. I'm sure we've all FaceTime or Zoomed with family or friends to be able to see each other, as we're doing now, to see each other, to stay connected, to talk, to learn. Make and eat dinner together. And when I say together, that could be virtually. Maybe your entire family wants to get together, but it's not safe and you don't feel safe. That's okay. Decide what you're going to have. You can each go out and buy the ingredients that you're going to need to make for that meal. You can make it together and eat it together, or just eat together while FaceTiming, so that you feel a little bit more connected. Join a support group. There are a lot of support groups that are being done now online. A lot of gyms or studios have online yoga or Tai Chi classes or other group fitness classes right now, that you feel that group atmosphere, but you're not actually with the group. And then as we move out of this and we're able to get out and about more, really staying connected throughout our days, planning social activities each and every day with friends or with family can really, really help us stay healthy as we age. Stressing less. Right now, again, probably stress might be running a little bit high, but stress is the body's normal response to anything that disturbs its natural, physical, emotional, or mental balance. Stress reduction refers to a variety of strategies that can counteract this response, and it leads to feelings of relaxation and tranquility. This one always reminds me that stress doesn't always feel the same. And sometimes what I'm feeling, I might not think of stress, but it really is. So some signs and symptoms of, we have emotional, physical, and behavioral. So anxiety can be a sign of stress. Sleep disruptions. Maybe you're saying, wow, I'm just not sleeping well lately. Is there something that you are stressed about? Could be. That could be why. Inability to concentrate, angry, crying easily, just that constant unproductive worry. Maybe you're getting a lot of headaches lately. That can be a sign of stress. Chronic fatigue, weight loss or weight gain, that tightness in those shoulders or that neck. If you're stressed, you're probably a little bit more tense. Digestion problems, and then really feeling irritable. If you find yourself kind of on edge, take a step back and think, why am I stressed? What is going on with myself? Sometimes people overreact when they're stressed, or they act on impulse. Some might use substances more than normal. Relationship withdrawal, just the feeling of wanting to be alone. feeling agitated. Some people will bite their fingernails. So there are so many different signs and symptoms of stress that we can encounter. I know my coworker, her focus is stress management at Gundersen. And a couple of years ago, I said I was, I don't even remember what my symptom was, but there's a symptom that I never even, I think I was getting a lot of stomach aches. And I said, well, I don't know what this is. I just keep getting these stomach aches. And she said, take a step back. What are you stressed about? And I never associated not feeling well with stress that I might be under. And it was just my body's way of showing me that I was indeed stressed. So she helped me take a step back and figure out what was stressing me, and how to deal with that. And it felt better. Stress is a part of life. We encounter it probably every single day in some way, shape, or form. It's a perception. So the key to stress management is to decrease one's perception of stress and increase their coping skills. And we'll go through some of these coping skills next. We need stress in our lives, believe it or not. We need stress to rise to challenges in life. However, persistent stress can lead to chronic stress, and it can be dangerous. And so this is why these positive coping skills are incredibly important to help us manage our stress. So what can we do? If stress can lead to illness, then reducing stress should aid in having the opposite effect, right? So what can we do? Understand what your stressors are. So like I had said, step back. Are the stressors problems in relationship? Maybe economic uncertainty, feeling of being stretched too thin at work, getting married. What are your stressors? So really step back and think, what are my stressors? And then keep a mental note or even jot down what you believe your stressors are. So you can write those down. You don't have to show anyone. You can think about them. And once you realize what is causing you stress, you can now put in place a plan to help you overcome that stress. So develop a game plan. Find positive coping skills that best fit your personality and time restrictions. Some examples might be exercising, gardening, listening to music, reading or writing, mental imagery, deep breathing, exercises, massage, prayer, taking a bath, talking to someone, coloring, crafts, cooking, cleaning, reflection and forgiveness, spending time with family and friends, spending time with nature, shopping, delegation, the list goes on. I know for me last Friday, and I don't get stressed very often, and I don't feel agitated very often, but this past Friday, I just really felt agitated. I felt on edge, and I knew I was stressed for some reason. And so I thought, okay, to be honest, what I really wanted was a glass of wine. And that is fine and well if that's what your body needs and that's going to help you in that situation. However, I knew my body better, and I said, what is going to help me move on and de-stress? And that was a nice long walk. I got outside Friday after work, and I just took a really long walk while I listened to a podcast. And I can't tell you how happy, one, that I was able to get out that excess energy that I had pent up to relieve my stress rather than just sitting with a glass of wine. I was able to move and exercise and get fresh air in nature, and it helped me so incredibly much to kind of de-stress and bring those feelings of agitation down. Sleep. This is probably one of the most important things that commonly gets neglected for our health. So it is crucial for all human functioning, for cognitive and physical performance. It has restorative powers. It's really crucial for our learning and our memory. This is why kids and babies need so much more sleep than we as adults. Their brains are developing. They need a lot more sleep than we do. Mood enhancement. I don't know about you, but when I don't get enough sleep, I tend to get moody. It protects our immune system, which is crucial all the time, especially right now. We really want to make sure that our immune system is protected. And new evidence shows a relationship to weight gain and aging. So sleeping, when you don't have enough sleep, you probably find yourself reaching for those quick fixes, maybe the chocolate, the processed foods, something to keep you awake throughout the day, and as well as sleeping can really have an effect on how we age as well. So why care about sleep? Well, like we said in the last slide, lack of sleep has some serious consequences. Poor health, like we said, a weakened immune system, impaired productivity. You're probably not going to be as productive the next day after a poor night's sleep. Reaction time. So think about when you're driving. If you're tired, your reaction time is going to be a lot slower when you're tired than when you're awake and alert. Limited ability to learn, listen, concentrate, and problem solve. Alertness, your mood, hand-eye concentration. You may even forget important information like names and numbers, or some sort of work that you're doing at home for a date. Your memory is not going to be as well or as sharp if you are deprived of sleep. You might have some skin issues. Maybe you have, maybe you suffer from some sort of a skin irritation, or I think of teenagers with acne. Probably their diet's not on point, giving them those nutrients they need to help clear their skin, but their sleep, they're more prone to acne. And as you sleep, your body repairs itself. That's the time that it really does all of its work to repair your muscles, your joints, your skin to get ready for the next day. So if you are not sleeping and you have skin issues or other issues with your body that is just a chronic pain, sleep can really, really help all of that. We as adults need 7 to 9 hours every single night. And next we'll get into some tips to promote better sleep. So try, if you can, to maintain a regular bed and wake time schedule. And that means every single day of the week. So if you have commitments during the week that you'll have to get up early for, try to do that same schedule on the weekends. Try to get to bed at the same time, around the same time every night. Establish a good, regular, relaxing bedtime routine. So maybe, I know for me, it's kind of wind down at night, wash my face, brush my teeth, take my contacts out. I do the same thing every single night. And that tells my body, okay, you're winding down, you're getting ready to go to sleep. Create a dark, quiet, comfortable, and cool sleeping environment. If you have the ability, get those dark out shades, make sure that it's really nice and quiet. I know a lot of people like to sleep with those sound machines to kind of fuzz out some of that background noise that you might get. A cool sleeping environment can be as cool as, I just read or listened to a podcast that said 62 to 65 degrees. Your body's temperature actually rises at night, so you want it even cooler than what you would think. Make sure that you have a comfortable mattress and pillow. And then if you are just laying there and you're not able to sleep, you're just sitting there and it's an hour and you haven't slept, try to just get out of bed and do something productive if you're unable to fall asleep. And once you start to feel that tiredness set in again, then try to climb back in bed and see if that can help. Naps can be helpful, but they have to be strategically done. You don't want to take long naps. You want 20 minutes max, and you do not want them, I say, you don't want them after 2 p.m. You don't want them near bedtime. So an early afternoon nap, okay, if you need it. Choose relaxing activities in the evening, like taking a warm bath or a shower, reading or meditating. And avoid those screens, so television, phone, or tablets within at least 1 hour before bedtime. Staying hydrated. We talked a little bit about how to change from sugary drinks to more plain water earlier. Your ideal number of glasses a day would be 8-ounce glasses. So you want to aim for about 64 ounces of water or fluids each day, with about half being plain water. Of course, this can change. If you have any medical conditions, talk to your provider, because that might be, you might need more water, you might need less water, depending on your body. But a good generalized rule is to drink about 64 ounces of water, and try to make sure that at least half is that plain water. And again, I always get the question, well, is it cold? Or I heard cold water, I heard room temperature water. I always say whatever water you're going to drink and enjoy. Don't get too hung up on it has to be warm, room temperature, it has to be really cold. Drink whatever water you prefer. Gundersen has a really good website that has different exercise videos that you can watch from your computer. I'm going to try really quickly, and hopefully you're still able to see my screen. So if you go to gundersenhealth.org and you scroll, actually you don't even have to scroll, right here under health and wellness. If you click on health and wellness up at the top, this has some really good health and wellness resources. But what I want to go to today is the Move tab. So we have Eat, Move, Be Well, and Live Happy. So if you click on Move, we have a whole bunch of different move, exercise, physical activity articles that you can read. From anything from how to switch up your workout routine, staying cool in your mask when you exercise, progress versus perfection. But over on the left-hand side, you'll see a Move tab with physical activity under it. If you click on physical activity, we have swing into shape, gentle yoga, everyday exercise, resistance exercises, and then we have some walking trails listed. So if you go to swing into shape and you click on that and learn more, you can actually choose your level 1, 2, or 3, and they're 30-minute, and you can press play and it'll walk you through. You can have it's a free online exercise routine. That is the same with gentle yoga. You can watch gentle yoga live and do it with the video. Everyday exercises is not a video, but this is a file that will open that will walk through different exercises that can be done every day from either a seated or a standing position. And then same with resistance exercises. So that is a pamphlet that you can look at to do all sorts of different activities with using resistance bands. If you're having a hard time finding resistance bands, you can get them online. You can find them at any department store, Target, Walmart. Amazon's an easy one if you're familiar with the computer and comfortable using Amazon. And they don't have to be fancy. They can just be kind of the rubber band ones. You can have the ones with handles if you want, not needed. But I just wanted to show that website because it has a lot of great resources on it. This is a quote I actually came across the other day that I really liked, and it says, "We all start at different places when it comes to achieving better health. Some people want to heal from a chronic disease or overcome a life-threatening diagnosis. Others just want to have more energy and feel better. But no matter where you stand on your health journey, the right mindset is key for getting where you want to go." I think that our mind, our brain is so powerful. So we just like the quote says, no matter where you stand on your health journey, the right mindset is key for getting where you want to go. And you can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old.
Well, thank you for those wonderful questions, everyone. If there's no further questions, I think now might be a good time to kind of wrap up. So thank you again, Shayna, so much for that comprehensive overview of various ways to maintain our health and well-being. That was super informative. So we very much
Thank you.
appreciate that, as well as the resources from Gundersen. Hopefully everyone can get a chance to check those out. And just, of course, a reminder that the library also has wonderful resources for books and videos as well to do yoga and other types of exercises and cookbooks of all sorts. So feel free to check those out at your convenience. And thank you so much for joining us today.